Well, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Maturing the Sons of God. I am your host, Apostle Michael Fram with Prophetic Destiny Ministries International in Sayreville, New Jersey. We come to you every Wednesday at this same time on Kingdom First TV. Of course, Kingdom First is an extension of the Love and Unity movement. And for more information on Love and Unity, you can find us at love-unity.org. Love-unity.org. You will also find the information about our next upcoming convergence, which is going to be in Ontario, California, starting on June the 28th and ending on July the 1st. If it's possible for you to come, we would love to meet you in person and just maybe get to hug your neck and shake your hand and spend some time with you. That would be wonderful to us, and we would love to meet you in person. We have been teaching on the motivational gifts. The motivational gifts, of course, are the gifts that you find in Romans chapter 12. There are the manifestation gifts, there's the motivational gifts, and there is the ministry gifts. We did 30-something broadcasts on the manifestation gifts, commonly known as the gifts of the Spirit. We're in the middle of talking about the motivational gifts, and when we are done teaching on the motivational gifts, we're going to get into the ministry gifts, also known as the fivefold ministry or the ascension gifts of Christ. We've been teaching here. We ended up last week in talking about the gift, the motivational gift of giving. And so we're going to finish that tonight, and then we're going to get into the next one of the gifts. We left off last week talking about somebody with a primary motivation or a very strong motivational gift of giving, that they are very industrious with a tendency towards success. And this is a common characteristic or a common trait of somebody with a motivational gift of giving. Those were all that ended talking about the positive character traits or the positive ways that a person with the gift of giving would be motivated. Now I want to look at some of the negative aspects or the negative character traits of somebody with a gift of giving. The first on the negative side, and something that somebody with a motivational gift of giving has to guard against, is they have a tendency to pressure other people to give. See, people that are givers, that have a motivation of giving, they think everybody should be giving. They think everybody should be ponying up to the table. And so they try to put others to do what they are motivated to do. In fact, it seems like a lot of those that have, especially some of these where it's more actual doing type of motivations, they think everybody should be motivated the way that they are. And so because they are motivated to give of their treasure, of their time, of their talent, they think everybody should be doing it as well. And so what they have to guard against is frustration when others aren't motivated to give like they are motivated to give. And so that's one of the negatives that they have to guard against. The second negative for somebody with a strong motivation to give is that they may actually upset their family and their friends with unpredictable patterns of giving. Somebody with a primary motivation to give, they'll just hear of a need, and like we said before, when they love to know that what they gave met a specific need, that just totally makes their day. But many times, their family and their friends who maybe don't have that same motivation to give, that they will actually say to them, well, what are you doing? You're always giving. You're always, what's wrong with you? And people may actually get upset with them because they give so to others haphazardly or unpredictably. It's like the giving motivated person, they hear of a need and they're just trying to figure out how in the world they can help meet that need. And so what they have to guard against is you may be turning off your family and your friends by your giving patterns. And so it's one of the negatives. The other negative, and this, because they're so driven to give, many times they use financial giving as a way to get out of other responsibilities. Many times, you will have a say at a church, you're going to have a work day. And the work day is just that. It's a work day. And everybody comes and volunteers their time and they roll up their sleeves and they help. Many times, those with a giving motivation, we're cleaning up the church, we're fixing things that need to be fixed, and we're going to spruce it up. It's spring cleaning. We're going to do all of that. And everybody is pitching in and everybody's doing their part. Many times, one with a giving motivation, they will say, well, what can I give? They want to give money. What can I pay? I'll buy supplies. I'll buy food. I'll do this, as a way to get out of doing manual labor. And so one of the things that a giving motivation person has to guard against is using money as a way to get out of doing what they might consider menial tasks or what they might consider as manual labor. Again, this is something that a giving motivation person has to guard against. Now, the best biblical example that we have of somebody with a giving motivation was Dorcas. You remember that when Dorcas died, the widows were in mourning because they said how her giving, how she was always making things and giving things to other people to meet their needs. And without her being there, a lot of these felt like maybe their needs were not going to be met because Dorcas had this practical way of meeting the needs of other people. And so she was just a great example. She was looking for nothing in return. It was just genuine from her heart that she was wanting to meet practical needs. Let's go into our next motivational gift. This one is called leading, or it's also called the gift of administration. Some people just have a natural ability to lead. They have a natural ability to administrate. They have the ability to see who's gifted in what ways and who would be the best person to do the best job. I remember years ago, this is probably about, I'd say 7, 8 years ago, maybe that amount of time. I was overseeing a local church here in New Jersey, and we were going to have one of those days where we all came and worked at the church, and we were actually painting the church. We were painting the lobby. We were painting what used to be like a nursery, and we were going to turn it into a prayer room for pre-service prayer and for in case we needed to take somebody into a room after service for either counseling or maybe to pray with them further regarding their new salvation where they gave their life to Christ, or they wanted the baptism and they wanted to release their prayer language. So it became a prayer room, and it used to be a nursery. And so we were painting that room, and we were painting the front lobby. And we had a woman in the church at that time, and it was amazing. She immediately just jumped into, all right, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do here, you do this. Now, she was actually working, and I mean, she really worked. But it was amazing to watch her. It was the most natural thing in the world to say, you do this, you do this. And she began to assign people tasks. And how much got done? Nobody was taking the bull by the horns. But this particular day, this woman, boy, she just jumped in and organized and took the bull. She had a natural ability to administrate or to lead. This person, the leading person or the administration person, they love to organize, to lead, and to direct. It is the easiest thing in the world for them. And they are not worried about I'm being bossy. What they're worried about is they're very detail and task oriented, where the server, the person with the serving gift, they just want to help. They just want to serve. They just want to do. But many times they don't know what to do or how to do. And you need the administration or the leading person to come along that knows how to take the servants and actually plug them in so that the tasks get done and everybody pulls their weight. And we need administrators. If there's one thing that every local church needs, they need people with the gift of administration. There are times that the set man or the set woman, the pastor or the prophet or the apostle, whatever ministry function they have, whatever the set man or set woman of that house is doing, if they do not themselves have a strong gift of leading or of administration, they need somebody that they can trust that has a gift of administration or a gift of leadership to help them come alongside and help and hold up their hands so that every job gets done. I remember when I was in Victory Christian Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, when I lived out there back in the 80s and into the early 90s, the last several years after I graduated from Rhema, I was a volunteer, and I volunteered in many, many, many different areas of ministry, from home Bible fellowships to evangelism outreaches to men's breakfast to being an usher to being a head usher. I did all of these things. And we had one of the staff ministers who was actually the wife of the minister of music. And she had a gift of administration. And what her job was with that gift of administration is she oversaw all of the helps ministries in the church. And so there were department heads, and there was a director of ushers who I was under as a head usher. I was under the director of ushers, but the director of ushers was under the director of all volunteer ministry in the church. Her name happened to be Becky Grothy. And Becky had a tremendous gift of administration. All the care pastors and all those that were involved in evangelism outreach and all the greeters and all the altar counselors, there were department heads children's ministry, nursery. All the department heads reported directly to Becky. Becky was the one with the gift of administration, the gift of leading, and all those department heads reported to her. And she organized and kept every area, the buses, the everything was all under her jurisdiction as the administrator over all of the volunteer ministries within the church. We need that gifting within every local church, and the local church will not operate successfully without somebody or somebodies with a gift of administration or leading. Let's look at some of the characteristics about the administration gift or the leading gift. The person with administration or leading, they prefer to be under authority than to have authority. They are those that fully understood that, you remember the centurion. The centurion that came to Jesus, he said, listen, I'm not worthy to have you come to my house. You just speak the word and my servant will be healed, because I understand authority. I say to this one, go, and he goes. And to this one, come, and he comes. But I am also under authority, because I have those that are over me that tell me what to do. I remember when I was in Rhema, we had a course that we had to take that was called Submission and Authority. And in that course, we were taught that one can only exercise authority to the degree that they are under authority. And that's a biblical principle. One can only exercise authority to the degree that they are under authority. And so many times people with administration, people may think that they're bossy and they're telling people what to do, but they only are to the extent that they're operating under the authority of those that are under them. And let me tell you something, even if you're an ascension gift and you're operating as an ascension gift, you need to understand submission and authority. Next week, I'm actually driving up into Canada, and I will be ministering with some dear friends up in Canada. Well, I talked with them last night before we had our Canada Zoom for Love and Unity, and I said, listen, I'm coming in under your authority. Is there anything that you want me to steer clear of that you don't even want me to mention? Is there anything particular that you want me to mention or that you might want me to talk about? Why? Because I can only exercise authority to the degree that I am under their authority. I asked them what their dress code was. How do you want me to dress? Do you want me to wear a jacket and tie? Or are you okay if I wear jeans and a dress shirt and my snakeskin boots? And so submission and authority is not just for when it comes to helps ministry. Submission and authority is important even with peers in ministry. Not too long ago, I was down with Apostle Ronnie and with Pastor August in our Love and Unity family. Well, when I'm in there and I'm ministering for them, I am under their authority. And so I say, whatever you want me to do, whatever you want me to say, I will do. Many times I'll get done and I'll just say, I'm done with, what I feel I'm supposed to say, but I will do whatever you want me to do because I am under your authority. And so the person with a leadership gift with this gift of administration, they prefer to be under authority than to actually be the boss, bossing people around. Now, they're good at seeing who is gifted in certain areas that they can help, but they don't want to do it like they're the boss. They like to do it like they are a delegated authority under the authority of the set man or the set woman. And that's really important, not just for administrators or department heads or leaders in ministry, but it even comes into play in our interpersonal peer relationships in ministry. Next, the person with a gift of administration or the gift of leading, they will assume responsibilities if no specific leadership exists. And this going back to that day we had the work day at that church that I was overseeing here in New Jersey. It was a paint day. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know a whole heck of a lot about painting other than the fact I try to get more on the wall than I get on me. And I try to have drop cloths down so I don't get it on the carpet. That's about the extent of what I know. I'm not a great painter, but this particular day, there was no real specific leadership. The only leadership that I gave as the set man in that house is we're painting this room and this room. And I want these colors in these places. That was it. As far as assigning who to do what, assigning who to get on the ladder, who to be down, who to put the roller on the stick, who to do the trim, who to make sure the drop cloths were in the. I knew this room, and these colors. The top half of the wall this, the bottom half of the wall that. That's what I knew. So we had this woman, she assumed the responsibility because there was no specific leadership there. And the administration person, the gift of having this leadership ability, they just spring into action and they assume the responsibility to make sure that everything was done. The other thing you're going to find about somebody with a gift of administration or a gift of leadership, they are a natural and capable leader. Now, I've told you before, and I'm going to repeat it again, is I've taken these profiles multiple times through the years. And what's really, really odd, and I am definitely a strange duck, okay? I'll just fess up and be honest. I'm a strange duck because I score very high on the prophecy perceiver gift. I score very high on the teaching gift, very high on the exhorter gift, but I also score very high on the leadership or administration gift. And to find a perceiver, prophecy motivated person with a strong gift of administration or leadership is not normal. But whoever said that Michael was normal? Nobody ever said that Michael was normal. I am about as strange a duck as you will ever find. But there is a natural leadership gift. I've been involved in the workforce my whole life. I'm 4+ decades in ministry, and I've always been bivocational. And being bivocational, I've worked in the restaurant business. I have worked in different sales capacities. I've been in retail carpet. I've been in retail furniture. I've sold rainbow vacuum cleaners. I've sold windows and doors. I've been a warehouse manager in operations in the retail furniture business. Again, about 20 years of my life, I've been in the restaurant business. And in every business that I have been in, I've always risen into some type of leadership. Why? In the church, I've risen to a type of leadership. Why is that? Because I have a natural leadership gift. I was born with it. Remember, these motivational gifts, they are things that you are born with. They take on their true meaning when you come into the kingdom. But I've always been a natural, capable leader. And people with this gift, they have the ability to always take charge. They are recognized for their leadership ability, and they just rise into leadership. All right, I'm going to address some of the comments on the screen. Jerry, you're asking where to get the profile that you can take. And again, I'll mention it, Don and Katie Fortune. It's spelled fortune like fortune cookie, Fortune, Don and Katie, Katie. They have a curriculum that's out there about discovering your spiritual gifts, and they have profiles that you can take to help you identify what of these motivational gifts you're really strong in. Thank you, Renee, for picking on Pops. Yes, I am very peculiar. I admit it. And also, thank you, son. Stephen, you called me Chef Pops. That's fine. I live up to that. All right. Well, I'm just about out of time for today. Let me just remind you again, I appreciate when folks sow into Prophetic Destiny Ministries. You don't have to, but we really do appreciate it. You help us take the message of the kingdom around the world. And we're reaching the world through Kingdom First TV. You can sow at any time into Prophetic Destiny, paypal.me/Prophetic Destiny Min, or by Cash App, the $, and then the word Prophetic Destiny. Also, we are still having the pre-order on my new book. Right now, it is at our editor and layout person. We're on target for a June release. You can still pre-order and help me get the book published. It actually cost me over $1,000 to get this book published. And so if you pre-order, it will help us defray the cost, $25 or more, and you can get a signed, autographed, numbered copy of Kingdom Transformation through Ascension Gifts working together, either paypal.me/Prophetic Destiny Min, or Cash App, the $, and then the word Prophetic Destiny. All we ask is if you do this by Cash App, please, in the comment line, give me your address. PayPal captures addresses, Cash App does not. I will not know where to send it. Next week, we will pick it up right here and continue talking about the administration or leading gift, and hopefully then we'll get into the mercy gift. Until next week, God loves you. I love you. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for watching Kingdom First TV, your station for kingdom inspiration.